Hi, hello. My name's Edwin. That's Dorian. This is Passive Pixels. I've introduced all three things that are important. Dorian, you take it from here.
Raccoon.
Yeah, I like raccoons. Do you like raccoons?
I do like raccoons. They're good little trash animals. I think of one video where some guy's going to like throw like a garbage bag in the dumpster, and there's just like 100 of them in there, and he's just like, "Well, fuck me. I guess I'm not throwing away my garbage now."
You want to know what's a classic video? The classic video is like these raccoons that are frozen in time and they play the Halo music, and then they have just this one raccoon who has his hands up, and that's when you hear the music. Oh, I hope that raccoon is okay.
Yeah, same. On that token, have you seen that video where they do where the guy's like in the washroom and like he's like locked in there, and like all those people come in and do the Halo theme song just in
Oh
front of the
my
washroom?
god. That,
Yeah, that's a good one.
That feels like a really good I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you frame it, but you have to make it like a boys versus girls meme where it's like I bet he's dreaming of cheating on me, and then it's just the guy on the other side of the bed like, "Could I get all my boys together in the bathroom to sing the Halo theme accurately?"
Hey, yeah, that's a good one.
No, that's the thing. Like, there's a different version of it. Maybe it's like women in the bathroom talk about makeup, talk about boys, talk about periods, and then guys, oh.
Yeah, it's incredibly accurate. I mean, that's the way it is.
Women, I want you to know that we are in there just sword fighting and singing the Halo theme. That's all we do in bathrooms.
Exactly.
List: Final Fantasy 16, Barry Lyndon, The Thin Red Line, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, PSVR 2, Gran Turismo 7 and Tetris Effect, The Guardians Trilogy, Lost Seasons 4 and 5, Fast X, John Wick Chapter 4, Oppenheimer, Primer, and The Dark Crystal. I didn't get to write Dark Crystal on here, but I'm about to do that right now. The Dark. Nope, that's Daesh Dark. There we go. I spelled it right. Crystal. There we go. Your list.
All right, we've got Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Coffee Talk, The Last of Us, the TV series, Scream 6, Oppenheimer, Blue Valentine, Barry Lyndon, The Thin Red Line, Kung Fu Panda, The Platform, About Time, White Noise, Mommy, Tree of Life, Full Metal Jacket, and Amadeus.
Okay, I feel like this is what we need to do. Let's get the ones that we have in common together. So Barry Lyndon, The Red Line. You can go into Tree of Life from there. We could probably do Final Fantasy 16, then probably Oppenheimer, and then from there we just throw whatever we want. Sound good?
Yeah, it works for me.
Perfect. Barry Lyndon in cinema.
Yeah, no, this movie's fucking incredible. It's so funny too because I said right before we watched it, I'm like, man, like I really like I've kind of done like a 180 on Kubrick. Not that I ever thought Kubrick was bad, but when I'd only
Different
seen
wavelengths.
well different wavelengths, and I can really appreciate like a filmmaker's what do you want to call it, filmography. I can really appreciate their filmography, but just be like, oh, but they've never like I've never had like a 10 out of 10 from them. Like, I don't know. It just, whatever. It's missed me. But Barry Lyndon was the one that fucking broke through, and probably the one I least expected to break through. But holy fuck, that was a good movie.
Same, honestly. I didn't really know what I was getting into. I just was like, well, Barry Lyndon, I've had this here. And the funny thing is that there's another movie on your list that I always get confused with Barry Lyndon, which is Amadeus.
It's funny too because we'll talk about Amadeus when we get to it. But if you had like told me like a couple weeks ago that I would like that, yeah, I could see the confusion there, and I've heard of both those movies, and I would have sworn, I would have bet money that Amadeus would have been more my shit than Barry Lyndon, but it didn't work out that way, and I was very surprised.
God, Barry Lyndon is just a fucking scoundrel. I love this man. Just everything that he does, he's so self-interested, and he's just the right amount of scoundrel where whatever this man does, it's like, I know you're not doing something so good, but you make it so entertaining that I just am rooting for you at this point.
It's the type of thing where I feel like if this kind of movie was made in 2000, like let's say now, like if somebody was taking this original as an original idea and they were making it, it'd be a fucking TV series like Breaking Bad, where you just get this story of this guy slowly just like turning from like hero to anti-hero and just his entire life story. But we got this in 1975 from fucking Stanley Kubrick. And it looks like he fucking literally went back in time to make this. Like, it's so authentic to the period, and it's fucking incredible.
Have you seen my letterbox review for this? I'm very proud of.
No, I did, and it's spot on.
I want to read it because like it's one of those ones that like you have. Okay, I don't know if this happens to you, but do you when you're watching a movie, do you like think of something and then you're like, "Ooh, that might end up being my review of the movie."
Yeah, all the
Okay,
time.
okay, okay, alright, well, so, yeah, Barry Lyndon, I was just absolutely struck with everything that you were saying too, like, just the way this movie looks is insane, and, well, I'm gonna repeat what everyone else said already, which is that this movie just looks like it's a painting every single time. Like, the look of this movie is fucking insane. By the way, 75, not 79. And the thing is that the further back you go, the more insane it gets.
Yeah,
Um, okay, so this is my my letterbox review. It was wild in the special features when they said, "And here's the time machine Stanley used to go back and film Barry Lyndon," and then they never mentioned it again because
yeah, but it's
yeah,
funny, but like, I wouldn't if somebody told me that, like, yeah, he just hopped in a time machine and fucking directed this movie. I'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Like, it's so everything's just so authentic for the time period, and like you said, every shot's a painting, and it's just beautiful, and you can just every like Kubrick just had such like he just every shot he knew exactly what he wanted to accomplish with in that movie, and it just caught it kept your attention the entire time, which for a 3 hour movie,
yes.
I mean, not the easiest thing to do.
All right, here's what I'd like to do. I would like it if people who make Blu-rays, I would like it if you included like hold on. Let me see if I can check the back of a cover so you can get an idea. Okay, so like at the bottom it says, okay, I'm looking at my Watchmen Steelbook right now. Not rated. This Blu-ray is copyright protected. It has a Canadian rating. It tells me what audio codecs it uses, DTS Master Audio. 527 minutes. Can we include if a movie has an intermission? Can we include that at the bottom? Because like I felt really bad because like I was like, okay, it's a 3 hour movie. I'm gonna give myself a small intermission to go get some snacks, and then I go in the middle, and then I come back and there's an intermission later. I was like, well, shit. I wish I knew there was an intermission. I would have liked to have taken part in the intermission and go get my snacks then. Which, by the way, the movie just being like 2 chapters, like it's I love how just this movie is so confident and it just presents it like nothing. It's like Barry Lyndon's rise. You're like, cool, all right. Intermission, chapter 2. This is how he fucks it up, and you're like, oh, oh, all right.
Yeah, no, it's brilliantly done. I agree with the intermission thing, although I just kind of, I mean, I kind of movies back then, like, I mean, the 70s actually, I guess, was a little bit later. I would say anything 50s, 60s, if it's over 3 hours, I just expect an intermission. But by 70s, yeah, it's a little more sketch, I guess. You don't know for sure.
Like, look,
But
The Godfather is the
yeah,
70s movie, and I don't think that has an intermission.
no, oh, well, no, it doesn't. It might have been theaters, but it definitely doesn't on home release. So
Well, define what you mean by in theaters.
I thought they might have had it originally in theaters, like, not,
Okay,
like, on re-releases or anything, like, I think when it
okay,
first came out, it might have, but I could be making that up, like,
yeah.
source that I made it up, I don't know for sure.
Source, I made it up.
I it just seems like something that I heard before, but that could be bullshit.
No, because I did watch it in theaters,
Oh, yeah,
and
I watched in theaters too, and there definitely was an intermission, but yeah.
but yeah, Barry Lyndon, just what a fantastic movie!
Oh,
Like
yeah.
every
Give me a
single
4K,
time.
please.
Oh God, please don't do that because like this is gonna be a victim of the shelf. This is a victim of the shelf where like I love this movie, I respect this movie, but I don't know. I can't find that extra thing because like I feel like if I put it on the shelf, it's gonna end up becoming an easy one for me to cut, which is like I'll watch it again, be like, wow, hell yeah, that was great. You're getting cut. So like I'm just cutting to the chase and it hurts. A 4K of this, I probably would buy it again just so I could watch it again in 4K. Like this movie is that gorgeous that I would just totally buy it again, knowing I'm gonna just watch it and then probably sell it off again. Cause like this movie is that gorgeously shot.
Yeah, this movie's so good that if there was a 4K criterion, That would have been my review. Would have just been me taking a screenshot of me purchasing it off of Amazon. Unfortunately, there is no 4K, and I'm trying to stay away from the Blu-rays right now. So we'll see eventually if I end up succumbing. But that's the only thing holding it off my shelf right now.
have
I
you got
fucking loved it, but
have you gotten to read the booklet?
of which
No, I mean the Criterion.
for which grade? I don't own it.
Oh, you don't have it. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, no,
you're
no,
right.
I don't own it.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't own it. Unfortunately, I would love to. So hopefully one day, but yeah, no, I don't own it. I just rented it off of the Cineplex store.
Okay, yeah, no, because I just remembered right now that like I watched it, I loved it, but because I got interrupted with the girls coming home, it's funny because like there's a scene around the end when they're talking about like taxes or something, and someone is getting laid off. I'm pretty sure will remember that, and if anyone else remembers the movie, hopefully it clicks in. And when that person leaves in a huff, when the door closes, that's immediately when my wife comes in and drops the baby on my lap. I was like, oh, that's perfect timing. And my wife thought I was being sarcastic with her. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, no, no. I mean, like, literally, this character just closed the door and then she showed up. Like, this is hilarious. She's just like, I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. Whatever. She can sit here with me and she can watch some cinema with me. That's fine. That's fine. There's no problem with that. But yeah, also every single time that this movie starts off with a zoom in and then just slowly zooms out, ooh, that's when we knew that Kubrick knew he was fucking feeling himself on those shots. Oh, just it's so it almost makes me a little bit sad that we're just mostly talking about the visuals of this movie when
Yeah, there's so much to it.
but like no, everything is well acted, and of course, just the actor for Barry Lyndon is carrying this movie so fucking hard, but he doesn't have to because everyone else in the cast is doing great. Uh, I just want to mention it vaguely. The beatdown, somewhere around the halfway mark, a little bit further. Dude, that scene is awesome. Oh my god. I love how it's this good little movie of just you see all this bourgeoisie and it's all just so banal and wait, banal? Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce that word. It's all just so pointless and all these people are just putting this on and that beatdown is the moment that's just it's a nice reminder of like no, all of you guys are still apes, you're just dressed to make yourselves forget that. It's so good.
Yeah, I agree. It's just wild to me, like looking at Kubrick's filmography. Like I know everyone said this, and it's not exact. I'm not about to make some fucking crazy point that no one's made before. This is very common knowledge, but you look at Spartacus to Lolita to Doctor Strangelove to 2001 to Clockwork Orange to Barry Lyndon to The Shining to Full Metal Jacket to Eyes Wide Shut, and every single one of those movies feels so different from one another,
They're different.
in a good way. Yeah, they are. They're just
I didn't
completely
know.
different.
Oh my god.
I know, right?
Have you
But
thought about writing a
it's
book?
I know, right? But it still feels, it still feels like they've all just what they have in common is that they're just shot by like a an amazing director. Which, by the way, when we were bundling everything together, we got to talk about the Full Metal Jacket too after this because that's Kubrick as well. But
Mm.
because I watched that too.
Actually, we can transition into that like after this one. Like that's completely fine.
Sure,
I have
yeah,
no problem with
that
that.
makes sense. But because I finally watched that and finished my Kubrick watches.
Mm. I'm sorry, I haven't really drank that much water today. So now this water that I'm having tastes delicious. Oh my god. Mm. No, like you don't understand. Like I drink triple digits of ounces worth of water, so like I'm
I mean, you
slacking
have
today.
to with that fucking heat in Texas.
Yes, but also, new house, insulation. I keep this bitch at like 73, which, is a lot cooler than most people. My parents would consider 78 a cold front. So, that's how they kind of live. And no. Is there anything else about Barry Lyndon? Of course, costume design, gorgeous, lighting, which, the classic line about this movie is that it was all done with natural lighting, which definitely helps make the movie feel way more authentic. Cause like you're in these inside buildings and it's all lighting that like if you've watched a movie before, you're just like, this is different. And I like if you know why, it's completely obvious why. But if you don't, it's just like, oh, this is different. And it's just I can't imagine how fucking annoying it must have been to shoot the movies with natural lighting like that, but oh my god, does it fucking pay off.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely worth the effort that was put into that sort of thing, I feel. And just another, I think it just Kubrick's always willing to go that extra mile to do whatever he thinks he needs to do to make his movie work, and it really worked in Barry Lyndon's case.
All right, so Kino out of 10, just the absolute cinema
Yeah,
at its
5 out of
finest.
5. Yeah,
Uh,
we're on the same page.
5 star and a heart. I'm happy to give this movie all the praise that it needs.
Yeah, one of my, I mean, like I said, it's my favorite Kubrick movie now, which I
Same.
really like. I really, really like The Shining. So,
Yep.
which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. So for it to pass that is no joke for me. But yeah, it's incredible.
You beat me to it. I was about to call you being a horror simp, and
Yeah.
of course, don't forget to tune in to An Hour to Kill, the 9 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. That's probably backwards. Who cares? Whatever. So for it to beat that for you, and
That
that's
means a lot.
horror royalty. So like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is. Yeah, which fucking Kubrick makes one stop in horror, fucking dunks his nuts all over the genre with The Shining, and then exits. Like it's pretty impressive.
It doesn't explain a thing. Leaves.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess we'll just transition right into Full Metal Jacket then, which I watched for the first time. Obviously, 1987, directed by Stanley Kubrick, starring Matthew Modine, Adam Baldwin, and of course Vincent D'Onofrio. Probably said it wrong, but as usual, and of course Ari
I've heard it D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio. Okay, and of course
Like, just
Ari.
don't think about it. You just go into it.
Armory. Yeah. This honestly might. Okay, when I say favorite war movie, I want to make it clear. I mean war. When I consider a war movie is when it goes boom boom, when there's boom boom. For instance, Schindler's List. I'm not. Yes, it takes place in wartime, but I'm not considering that a war movie. If that makes
God, okay, hold on, hold on. I know you're going with your explanation. I just want to see if
yeah.
I can guess the end, which is that because the second half has the boom boom, you're gonna give
Oh,
it your favorite one because the first half.
Yeah, pretty much, and it's either this or Saving Private Ryan. But yeah, so first of all, let me be clear. I actually like the second half of the movie. I think it's good. I
Yeah, it's
don't
good.
want to shit on it. It's
It's
good.
good. The
But the
poem is the first
first
half.
half of this
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
holy fucking shit! The first half of
Yeah.
this movie is a 5 out of fucking 5, man. Like it
You
is
might be
just
ranking it.
absolutely like this might be some of the best work of Kubrick's career. The first half of this movie, it's Matthew Modine who plays Private Joker, and basically you get fucking incredible work by Gunnery Sergeant Hartman whipping these maggots into shape, and you just get like this intense look at boot camp, and it's. I mean, if you've seen this movie, you know it's fucking incredible. And you just kind of get the one guy played by Vincent, Private Pyle, who you just see him. I don't want to spoil anything, but you just kind of see him go through the ringer a bit and get his story. And it's fucking incredible, man. Like, holy shit, I was not expecting that. I'm glad I went into this movie completely unspoiled, besides, hearing a couple famous lines from the movie, but that was it. Just
Just
incredible shit.
Vincent D'Onofrio
Oh,
is probably now tied for the best Kubrick stare with Jack Nicholson, at least from what
oh
I've
yeah.
the ones I've seen so far. So
Oh,
like
absolutely.
you're going toe to toe with Jack Nicholson for the Kubrick stare? Oh boy. I'm just saying at this point I haven't watched Eyes Wide Shut, but I'm just saying if they give Tom Cruise the Kubrick stare in that one, I don't know. We might have another contender, but I'm just saying Vincent D'Onofrio, that's the kind of shit you're dealing with in this movie. To get a Jack Nicholson match on the Kubrick stare, cinema. Oh my god, just
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just like when he was on set here, he's just like, all right, Vincent, you watch The Shining, right? Yeah, just do that. Just do Jack. Just do that. You're good.
wait, hold on. Does that timing work? When was
Well, Full Metal Jack was after, so he could have he could have just referenced back to that.
87, dude? It's okay. Here's
Yeah.
the crazy thing about just Kubrick's movies in general. I can't really. Okay, I think The Shining might be the only one that like my brain can. No, that's not right. No, okay, no, nope. Okay, never mind. That's not true. Then I will just caveat my statement by saying some Kubrick movies I just have a hard time placing the timing for them. So, okay, Doctor Strangelove, uh, Blades of Glory, no, Paths of Glory,
Paths of Glory. Paths
Paths.
of
Okay,
Glory.
yeah, Paths of Glory, Spartacus, like all those. Oh yeah, 50s, 60s, Shining, 80s, Eyes Wide Shut, 90s. Every other movie you can just throw on a dartboard, and I don't think I'd be able to tell you specifically what even decade it is. And I know I have bad memory and all that. Oh, 2001, late 60s. But like everything else, I feel like Kubrick is just good about this timelessness quality to how he makes these movies. Cause like again, Barry Lyndon, the time machine, man. Like you could just make that movie now. No one will because all of you guys fucking suck. You can make that movie right now and it would look exactly the same. And yeah, I just wouldn't be able to tell. The only thing that you would be able to tell as a difference is probably just the fact that the camera isn't as crisp. That's really it. But man, just Kubrick, this man, I was about to say something stupid. This man has it like no one else fucking knows. But yeah, man, Full Metal Jacket. That first half is just it. I don't want to disparage the second half. The second half is good,
Oh,
and
it's
the
good.
second
It
half
is good.
is needed to wrap up like
Yes.
what the point of the movie is.
Yeah.
But
100%.
also, you know, that first hour is enough to put a whole bunch of other movies to fucking shame in totality.
No, 100%. Like the first half, the first half is just some of the best. I mean, I would say I don't even want to say war movie, just stuff I've seen in general. It's a masterpiece. It's so well done. And yeah, the second half is good too. It's just when you've got a first half that incredible, yeah, it's not as good, but it's still a good movie. But yeah, the second half is strong too. Then you get the actual boom boom shoot shoot stuff. You get the message of the movie across. How I mean, very minor spoiler. If you don't want to hear this, skip ahead 5 seconds. I'm doing your bullshit right now. Right now, how fucking this got past Disney lawyers. I don't know what the Mickey Mouse bullshit at the end. Is, right? But, yeah, it's just there's so much to love about this movie, and just watching Barry Lyndon and then this close by. I really got to get these fucking 4Ks of Kubrick's I don't have because these movies are just great, and I'd like to do a rewatch at some point because they're really, I mean, the closest fucking director we have to him now would be somebody like Paul Thomas Anderson, who just feels like he makes something wholly unique every time he makes a movie. But
God.
there's just no one like Kubrick. Like it's just incredible how everything just feels so detached and different from each other, and I love it.
I I don't know why I had that exclamation. I think it's just that having finished his filmography, I'm just like, damn, man, I don't have another Paul Thomas Anderson until Paul Thomas Anderson makes another one. So I'm just like, I think I'm lamenting that I don't have a spare one to go to, but also I
That's me
almost
with
kind
Kubrick now.
of wait, really? Okay, no, I mean, I'm assuming you haven't watched like the first two he has, or
No, I've watched everything. The only one I haven't watched is Killer's Kitchen, which is like an hour long, and I'll watch it at some point. But literally everything else I've watched of his now. It's all done.
how is Lolita?
Lolita's fine. So to be fair with Lolita, I have not watched that one in since I was
Oh,
fucking
okay.
18, 19. So that's probably due for a rewatch, but I remember liking it. Not bad. Definitely lower in Kubrick, but it definitely needs a rewatch for me.
Okay. No, that's the thing, because like Lolita is always like this one where, of course, taboo. It's fucking baked into the cake, obviously. But also, I don't hear it talked about. I understand it's not top tier, but also, is it like just ignored because it's taboo, or is it ignored because it's lesser Kubrick? And I guess this one might be both. But
Yeah, I again, I need to rewatch it, but like for something like even The Killing, which I mean, I had never heard much about it, but when I watched that, I thought it was a fucking near masterpiece too. That's actually one of my favorite Kubrick movies. So I don't know, man. The guy is just even when he's doing simpler stuff like that. And Lolita, although it's very taboo, it's actually a pretty simplistic story if you take a look at it from that perspective as well. So it's kind of ironically enough, as taboo as it is, one of his more down to earth ones for sure.
it feels very okay. Okay, this is news to me. I'm looking at his filmography and AI artificial intelligence is listed on here. Didn't direct it, didn't write it, didn't produce it. And in the notes it says the film is dedicated to Kubrick, who intended to create an adaptation of the film. So intended. I need to click on this now because I need to see if he actually did any work for it because like it okay.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
think knowing the story, and I could be wrong about this. I think that was supposed to be his next project. I'm not sure how far along he got in it, but that was his movie. And then, of course, he passed away, so it never happened. But
Okay, yeah, no, that Wikipedia. I feel like I'd argue this one being on the list because blah 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 blah. Development of AI began. Stanley Kubrick acquired the rights in early 1970s. He didn't like how CG looked currently, so he never worked on the movie. Uh, he believed no child actor would convincingly portray one of the characters. In 95, Kubrick handed it to Spielberg and then did not gain momentum until his death in 99. So, yeah, no, I don't like the idea of AI being included in his filmography. I feel like,
No, there's no, it shouldn't be. That's stupid. Like, it's
yeah,
dedicated to him. That's fine. I'm sure he had a lot to do with the inspiration of making it or whatever and getting it off the ground, maybe. But yeah, he didn't do the movie. So
yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Okay, yeah, no, Full Metal Jacket, Kino and Cinema out of 10. I don't think I would rebuy that one. I don't. It's yeah, it's a nicely shot movie, but it's no fucking Barry Lyndon where I'd rebuy it for a 4K for it.
yeah, it's a rock solid 4 to 5 for me. Great movie. Enjoyed the hell out
All right, so Thin Red Line. We're both going to beat up on this one right now.
of it.
Um,
I think you're a little. I think you're a little bit more positive on it. So you go ahead and start.
Okay, no, because like let this is a dialogue. This is a dialogue. You didn't like the. Okay, look, let's not bring up the Tree of Life. Let's really not. Let's
We'll
try
save
not
that.
to because
We'll
I'm
save
just
that.
that one is going to be a really interesting conversation. I already have bets on 2 words, and I will allow synonyms to show up as me proving my bet properly. Um, so, how did you feel about the beginning of the movie?
Well, funny enough, that's probably like okay. I mean, I didn't not like it. I thought it was fine. I actually, if I was to say a favorite part of the movie, that would be my favorite part of the movie because I was still actively engaged at that part
You
of the
beat me
movie.
to it. Fuck, I was about to say because you still had hope.
Yeah, I still had hope. I was engaged. I was like, okay, let's see where this is going. And then it just turns into a war movie, which is fine. We all know I'm not the biggest war movie guy. It just turns into that, but just fucking plotting and boring. I don't know, man.
All right, so the beginning of that movie gave me what I liked. I'm not even going to invoke the name of the other one yet, but it gave me what I liked. I just like the camera kind of serenely floating around. You got actors whispering just something that they believe is the hardest shit they've ever said in their lives, and it's just like, oh, the leaves and the grass, they live. I step on them. That's like me in this war. And it's just like, sure, whatever, man. You want to be a can of beans and a bag that floats in the air? Hell yeah. Keep showing me pretty images and keep whispering. I can do this for the rest of my life. And then just it feels like it jumps across all these characters and I'm like, okay, all right, we're getting set up, that's fine. They give them the little whispering narrations to kind of explain them. Okay, cool. We're all on board. And then at some point the movie just turns into a war movie, and I don't really feel like I'm getting anything from these characters. It just sort of feels like they are in a war movie. I'm now here to see boom boom bang bang. Hey, we're gonna go take out the Nazis. Oh, that's a Japanese man. Oh, he's gonna go bazai and try to blow himself up. And then like it's just the first war scene that shows up, the action scene, it numbed me. Like that scene went on for so long that like I just kind of gave up hope for the movie. And then when we finally slowed down again, I just wasn't being fed the right imagery. Like I kind of enjoyed the beginning because I enjoyed like the camera floating around and the whispering of nothings, and the movie didn't really give me that afterwards. It just kind of fell more into the rhythm of just another war movie, and I'm pretty sure there was scenes after that that fit the bill, but that war scene went on for so long, and then after that this I didn't really care about any of the characters, and it's just this movie was a miss for me. It's just completely and utterly a miss, and it just made me sad because on paper, this is where I will invoke it. On paper, the idea of Terrence Malick, after having only watched The Tree of Life, doing a war movie, like those are two antithetical things. Terrence Malick just seems like the little weirdo who's in the corner. Like that scene from American Beauty where it's just a bag floating in the wind, that feels like Terrence Malick. I don't understand if I mean that he would have shot that plastic bag or he is the plastic bag. I just mean that entire idea reminds me of Terrence Malick. And the idea of that making a war movie when each of them seems like the antithesis of each other, I would think, okay, that's a cool idea. Show me what you could do. The problem is that it feels like this is the Terrence Malick part. Here's the war movie part. Here's the Terrence Malick part. And then here's the war movie part. When I would have liked to see what those two look like if you actually mix them together.
Yeah, I mean, again, without talking about Voldemort, which is coming up next, I basically I dislike this movie for completely different reasons that I dislike the other movie. For this one, I was just bored. I don't know what to say. And again, to be fair, I'm not a big war guy, so that's big grain of salt, star, everything there. It's just maybe it wasn't going to be a good fit, which is
Side
why I
note,
really
side
want.
note. I want to add this because when you were saying that you weren't a big war guy, I was curious and I was like, huh, what are my war movies? And the cool thing is that with Letterbox, you can sort your entire like watch history by genre. And I checked war movies. There are a couple that really don't fit. Is War for the Planet of the Apes really a war movie? Like,
No,
no, it's not
no,
Letterbox, but fine, whatever,
no.
sure. I'm not going to
Yeah,
argue with it. But like, I look through and I think this is like biggest like it is the biggest major war movie that I don't like on Letterbox, and it's like the only one. So like I don't think I'm a big war guy. I just think I might be easy to please, and then this movie just didn't.
yeah. I will say, like, one thing where we disagree on, I actually like the score here. I thought Hans Zimmer did a good job, and was
I can't
probably one
remember
of
a
my.
thing.
Yeah, no, it was one of my favorite parts of the movie. I dug the score. Incredibly well acted, like great cast here, like just across the board, like so
Oh,
many
it's
fucking
90s A
stars.
list.
Yeah, no, 90s A was for sure. So really great cast there. I was just put to sleep by the end of it. And I mean, it doesn't help. It's a 3-hour movie. But again, it was just funny coming from Barry Lyndon, which even funnier for you because you watched these the same fucking day. I watched them like a day apart, but Barry Lyndon was basically the same length, and I was captivated the entire fucking time. This one, I just was already ready for it to be over halfway through.
Okay, all right. I pulled it up just because this war list is like really wonky. Bridge on the River Kwai, understandable. Paths of Glory, Spartacus, Lawrence of Arabia, uh, Doctor Strangelove, Barry Lyndon, The Deer Hunter, Apocalypse Now, Rambo. Red Dawn is one I don't like. I just got halfway through and was like, man, I really don't care. Full Metal Jacket, Graveyard of the Firefly. Oh, sorry, Grave of the Fireflies, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan. Then we reach some that I don't like, which is The Thin Red Line, Pearl Harbor, Master and Commander. I like. By the way, I'm just mentioning the ones I don't like, so you can fill it in from here. Master and Commander, The Last Samurai. These two are on here, but I haven't watched them recently enough to be like, I like these. The Alamo and Hotel Rwanda. I like Troy. I don't think it's that good, but like, man, it's really going for something. I don't like Kingdom of Heaven. Now the ones I like: Jarhead, Pan's Labyrinth, I, 300. Oh, yeah, I guess 300 just counts. No heart for 300 though. Tropic Thunder, Hurt Locker. I don't have a heart for Valkyrie because I don't remember it. Inglorious Bastards, The Imitation Game. No hearts for American Sniper or Hacksaw Ridge. War of the Planet of the Apes is here, but whatever. Dunkirk I like, Jojo Rabbit I like, and then 1917 I like. So like I think I'm an easy mark for war movies, at least based off of Letterbox. So like what happened here? What happened here, Thin Red Line?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it didn't work for me either. Especially compared to Full Metal Jacket. Like watching Full Metal Jacket, and this was
Oh
just
my
like
god. Fucking
complete.
fucking debuff.
Yeah, just completely different experiences. Which obviously they're different movies going for different things. Don't get me wrong,
Same genre
but
though.
again, same genre. And Full Metal Jacket could not look away. I was entranced the entire time for this movie. Definitely not counting down the minutes on it. So yeah,
Yeah,
just wasn't
I
for
will
me.
agree. I checked that one twice, I think. I checked one time and I was halfway through and I was just like, oh, that's not good. And then I think I checked at the last 30 minutes. I was just like, oh boy, this is not
Yeah,
going to go
there's
good.
one other movie. Well, actually, no, there's two other movies. One we'll talk about next, but then there's one other movie other than that where I was checking for time. And yeah, it's never a good sign when you start checking for time. It just isn't.
I'm just look. I'm just gonna spoil what movie that happened with me later on as well. Fast X, by the way. Fast X. Oh my god! Holy shit! Are they? Oh boy, was firing that director a really bad fucking idea. But I'll talk about that later. But yeah, no. This movie, no, no out of 10.
We went 2.5 out of 5 on
All right, now please let me hit bingo with the words that I think are going to be used to describe the
it.
tree of life.
It's fucking pretentious, man. Pretentious fucking dog shit. All right. Look, it's funny. I got to tell a funny story here, but to tell the funny story and kind of frame this whole conversation, I have to do spoilers. So we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, it's pretentious dog shit. I fucking hate this movie. The more I sit on it, I don't like this movie. I really got to go into spoilers to say more. So that's all I'm going to say for now. Ed, I know you like this movie, so go ahead and suck it off a bit if you want. Then I'll do spoilers.
Hold on. Look. I like this movie. It made it onto the shelf, but this is one that is currently in that pile of. Okay, I was high on you when I finished watching you. I'm gonna give you another watch. I still want to rewatch it. For me, it's a vibe. It is this movie is like if you were light enough to get picked up by a breeze of wind and then just taken through a life. That's what this movie feels like. Wait, actually, did that movie take place in Texas?
Yeah, it is Texas.
Okay, yeah, that shit. Well, that
Cheat code.
oh, dude, I do enjoy me a Boyhood. Hold on, does Letterbox have Texas as a genre? Because that'd be really cool.
It doesn't, but you should suggest that for like a pro feature.
Oh my god. Action, family, Texas. What the fuck is that doing there?
What's your
It's
favorite
just,
Texas movie?
well, I enjoy a good Boyhood and a good Tree of Life. All of Wes Anderson's filmography is in there. It's like it doesn't take
Oh
place in
god.
Texas. It's like, well, we claim. I'm sorry. um yeah, no, I don't know what it is. I think I'm actually like a little bit softer on movies that do take place in Texas. I don't even live like in that rural urban area. Like I just live in a metropolitan area. I think now what I live in is technically the suburbs. So like I don't really have like I remember living on the farms, but dude, like I don't have that feeling. But there's something about the Texas landscapes that just really speak to me. It might just be traveling that like my brain goes, yeah. But no. I guess back to the statement I was making. If you were light enough to be picked up by a breeze of wind, it feels like you were just taken through memories of Sean Penn and having Brad Pitt as his dad. And like, I don't really think it needs much. And I vibe with it. It's just like, let's just chill out, man. Let's just treat this like the memories that it is. And yeah, I'm almost scared that when I rewatch it, I'm not gonna have the patience for it because I'm just gonna be like, okay, this isn't all new to me. So now I'm just like, I'm not in the mood to vibe. But I know that at least for that first viewing, uh, this is unfair to compare it to because, like, Dunkirk is, my opinion of Dunkirk is probably higher than Tree of Light, just because I think on a technical level, Dunkirk like destroys this fucking movie, just shreds everything. But it's one of those things that the first viewing will always be special. So yeah, now this is where you go ahead and I'm just waiting to see if you prove either Poot or Moki right with what you're going to bring up.
We'll see. All right. So yeah, I fucking hate this movie. There's my review. Now we're going to spoilers. So 3, 2, 1. Brad Pitt's a horrible father. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
here's no, well, that's not it. I that's my spoiler.
Oh,
Edit
okay.
from
How
this.
do you really
All
spoil
right.
this movie?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you how. So here's my issue with this movie. So about like 10, 15 minutes in, I'm like,
Yup!
okay, there's not much happening here, but I'm not don't hate it yet. And then we start like getting these shots of space and all of this weird random shit that's very pretty, mind you. Don't get me wrong, very very pretty. But all this random shit starts happening. So I'm like, okay, well, this is boring. So I pull out my phone and I'm on my phone, which is already
You
a bad
gave up
start.
that quickly.
I'm not checking for time. Well, look, I'm bad with movies. I multitask to begin with normally, unless it's fucking Barry Lyndon. But like, I'm always kind of multitasking. So at that point, I was still paying attention. I hadn't given up completely. I was still paying attention,
No,
but
no,
I was
that's a
just,
defeat, man. No,
but
no, like
I
go
do,
for it.
I do this for so many movies. You don't even realize, like
You
more than I care to
monster.
admit.
No wonder you watch a bunch of movies.
Yeah. But anyways, but it went on for a bit, it feels like. So I'm like, okay, like, come on. So I look down at my phone for like a minute and I'm like scrolling through something. I swear to God, I'm not joking. I'm scrolling through something and then I look back up and there's fucking dinosaurs on the screen.
You just prove them right. You just prove Putin Moki
And,
right.
and I'm like, and I literally, I'm not joking. I paused the movie at this point. I'm like, and I'm just kind of looking at it and I'm looking at my screen. I'm like, did I put on fucking Jurassic Park by accident? I'm honestly confused. I'm like, wait, so I actually have to rewind. Where did these fucking dinosaurs come from? I fucking rewound the movie. No, they just fucking showed up. These random fucking dinosaurs in the middle of this, not in the middle, in the fucking start of this movie, fucking 20 minutes in, whatever it is. And yeah, from that point, I was like, wow, I fucking hate this. So at that point, yeah, that was defeat for me. I tapped out there.
Oh my god. You almost hit word for word everything they said.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
frustrating. And yeah, I after that it was just okay, I don't fucking, which by the way, I understand why Moki likes this now, fucking dinosaur simp. But uh yeah, I don't know, man. Like I mean I could put myself in the shoes of someone that if you just want to vibe with it, maybe you can enjoy this movie. But holy fuck, that's not me, man. I need something. I need a plot to care about, some characters to care about, something to hold on to. And from the start, this movie gave me nothing. The only positive thing I have to say about it is when the movie decided it wanted to be a movie again, there were a couple of decent scenes with Brad Pitt and his kids that I did enjoy. And his mother, of course, played by the wonderful Jessica Chastain. But it was just so fucking few and far between. And then the whole movie just, it ends with a wet fart that I just didn't give a shit. Holy
oh my
fuck, I didn't
god,
care.
it's shot so pretty. It's so
It's
oh
pretty.
my god, it's in the
It's pretty.
desert. I think Sean
It's
Penn
pretty.
dies.
Yeah, great. I wish he would have died 2 hours earlier so I'd have to watch any of that shit.
To be
Holy
fair, you could
fuck.
probably read it that it's like his memories as he's dying, and for some reason he's thinking about dinosaurs too.
I mean, great. That's wonderful. Maybe he was a big dinosaur fan. I don't fucking know, man. I just, there was just nothing here for me in this movie. It's pretentious garbage. That, you know, it's funny when I go on Letterboxd, I always kind of go into this rabbit hole where I'll be like, after a movie or sometimes during it, because like I said, I'm horrible. I'll click through and be like, oh, I gotta add this to the watch list, gotta add this to the watch list. But no, this is one of the rare movies where I went in and took movies off of my watch list because I removed Badlands and I removed Days of Heaven off my watch list after this. No, I have
Oh my
no
god.
more interest in Malik whatsoever. And why the fuck does everybody whisper in his movies? Why are you
I
all fucking whispering? Who are you whispering to? Why?
whisper to the audience, man. Do you know how fucking deep it is, the stuff we're saying? Do you know how important it is to what we're saying?
So there was the dinosaur. The
Oh,
dinosaurs were all doing a roar.
hold on. I'm gonna do a slideshow of like nature while you speak right now, so I can get my own Terrence Malick movie.
No, I can't with this fucking movie. It's not for me. I'm very glad I didn't blind buy this fucking Criterion or anything like that. Actually, by the way, in case you're wondering how I did watch this, because it's not available to rent in Canada anywhere, I did not pirate it. In fact, I mooched my dad's Apple account again because he had a bunch of movies on there that
Ooh.
I wanted to watch. That he just buys everything fucking digitally, and apparently at one point you can't anymore, but you could buy the Tree of Life through Apple, and he did. So that's how I watched him.
Wow. Okay. So is your dad gonna try and kill you? He's like, I brought you into this world. I'm gonna take you out because of the Tree of Life slander, or what?
He hasn't seen it actually. He just he went he
He's
buys
one of
so much shit that
those.
yeah, he just buys so much fucking shit that he hasn't watched. And to be honest, since I've started on my big I don't want to say a movie, well, whatever, my movie phase, I've just been telling him about a bunch of shit. So he just goes and buys randomly shit. I don't think I ever talked about Malik with him though. So this one was all on him.
Just just talking about it now, I feel like I kind of want to watch this tomorrow. I feel like I just want to vibe, like I just want to hang out. And by the way, the entire space scenes and all that, the orchestra music, I was just like, honestly, if that orchestra music wasn't on, I'd just be like, okay, can we fucking get on with it? Because like I feel like that scene could get too close to Enter the Void, where like Enter the Void, wait, you've seen it, right?
Oh, I haven't actually.
Okay, well, Enter the Void, you're probably gonna fucking hate it. You're going to abhor it because, like, it wit. Honestly, I think I fast forwarded and like I think nothing basically happens in like the first 20 minutes. And well, it's Gaspar Noé, and he's
Oh well,
irreversible, so
that's
he's a man who just
yeah.
goes on for too long. Um,
Yeah, that's already off for me. Like the only like I might watch Climax one day.
oh, no,
Just fucking
you would love
give into.
Climax. You would love
I'll give.
Climax.
I might give into peer pressure on that one and watch it one day, but I doubt I'll watch anything else from him. So
No, and Addy, I'm putting my finger on the scale for this one. Hold out for Climax. If you don't get filtered by like the first 15 or 20, you're going to really like Climax.
well, and to be fair, my aversion to Climax isn't like that. I hate Gasper No anything. I actually like Irreversible. Well, like is a strong word, but
We respect it.
I,
We respect
I,
it, but
I
also fuck you.
respect I respect Irreversible, but it was a yeah. I don't want to watch anything from you ever again. So fuck off now. That's why I have not watched Climax. Nothing to do with the quality of the man. So let me be clear.
Oh, which I thought the sentence was going to keep going.
Oh, that was it. I'm good.
Uh,
But I'm done talking about Tree of Life. 1 out of 5.
yeah, Tree of Life. Yeah, I might put that on tomorrow, man. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I watched 2 movies today, so that's a miracle. So yeah, I
Can I
guess
steal? Can I steal one more? Because if we're
yeah,
if
go for
we're
it.
on a if we're not on a negative, boring train and just bad movies, I want to talk about this one next because everything else I actually am fairly positive on. But I
That's
watched
fine. I'll put Fast X after this then.
great. I watched White Noise. This was made
Okay.
in actually just the start of this year, directed by Noah Baumbach, obviously
Oh
the
no,
great director of Marriage Story, Francis Ha, the Marriage
co-writer
Story,
of Barbie, of
writer of
course.
Barbie. Yes, of course. Um, this movie sucked. Holy fuck, this movie sucked. And it's so weird to me too because again, I really like Marriage Story. I've liked everything I've seen of Noah so far, and he's a great writer. But I have no idea what he was thinking with this one. Now, from what I've seen, it is based off a book, and from doing a little bit of Googling, everyone's like, yeah, that's basically the book. I don't know why he chose to do this. So
Oh,
it sounds like it's a problem that roots from like, it's just from the material itself. But, anyways, it stars Adam Driver, Greta Gerwig, Don Cheadle, who's the best part of this movie by far. It's about okay. He's the professor of Hitler studies
then
and father to four.
hold on. That's a thing.
Yeah, apparently.
I went into the wrong field.
Yeah, no shit. And father to 4 children. A chemical spill happens in his town, and he's basically just confronted with his immortality and some other bullshit. Again, it's just boring. Not a lot happens. It feels like for the first, I said, I think somewhere 40 minutes into this movie, something has finally happened. Like there's been a notable event. At least fucking Tree of Life had like dinosaurs roaring around, I guess 25. Oh, fuck. I can't say that's a spoiler. Cut that out. And I do want that cut out
Look,
because
look, hold on. I'm not gonna cut it out just because someone listening to this is gonna hear that and go, "What the fuck is that movie?" I'm gonna watch this right now.
yeah, no shit, eh? But at least that had something interesting, which I don't get me wrong, I fucking hate that movie more than this, but
Hold
at
on. You
least
might be saving someone though, because if they
yeah,
know
maybe.
that, they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, I wasn't thrown off by that," and then the rest of the movie, I was just like, "Okay."
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, no, it's just I don't know what he was thinking with this. This movie is the perfect example to me that, maybe some filmmakers need a little bit of creative control, or like a little studio control. Because obviously this is a Netflix joint, so he could just do whatever he wanted. But to be fair, Marriage Story was also a Netflix joint, and that movie rocked. So I don't fucking know. But yeah, this was just a complete and utter miss for me. Adam Driver, he's had a bad year, man. Between this and 65, like, I don't know
Oh
what he's thinking with
yeah.
some of these choices, man. Because yeah, just not a good
Look,
year
look,
for him at all.
it's as long as it's not Star Wars, he's making that choice.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. And don't get me wrong, it's better than fucking those movies, but not by much. Uh, yeah, just totally forgettable. I cannot recommend this to anyone, even if you're a huge Baumbach fan. I don't find much to like here. And to be fair, I've only seen two of his other movies. He is a director I do want to drive into more. Like, I know Francis Ha's apparently very good, and that's on my list to be watched soon. But yeah, this was not it for sure.
Okay, this is weird because I was curious. I decided to. Okay, you were saying how Netflix, maybe they need a studio intervention. My thought process is that, sometimes a producer could be someone that's like, hey, you're kind of fucking it up, rein it in a little bit. Um, David Heyman, which I'm pretty sure is the guy who directed like all the later Harry Potter movies. Is that right? Um, Primary producer. Okay, was he just a producer? Am I imagining that? Oh yeah, no, he was one of the producers. I'm getting him confused for whoever the fuck was the one person who directed it. Okay, so you got Harry Potter guy as his producer on Marriage Story, and then Noah Baumbach is another producer on Marriage Story. And then White Noise, they add another producer, but there's no reason for me to think that if there's three producers for White Noise, that one producer could really just tank it. So I'm almost thinking, yeah, it might just be like what you read, which is that maybe the book itself just sucks, and this man just this man
Yeah,
made a faithful adaptation.
yeah, no, that was the thing. It's like, yeah, for anyone who's read this book, this is faithful. It's just not a very interesting book. And I was like, well, that explains a lot. So I don't know. Weird choice. Hopefully he bounces back from that because, I mean, his Greta's obviously fucking hotter than ever now. So hopefully they can, I don't know, maybe he just attaches to her name now and fucking rides that Barbie train.
So I know that they're Netflix movies, so box office really isn't relevant, but it still is interesting to see that Marriage Story, budget of 18 million. Take a guess as to what the box office was.
Uh, 2 million.
You are pretty good. Yeah, I will give it to you. 2.3 million. White Noise, budget of 100 million. What was the box office?
Oh, it had 100 million budget?
Yeah, seriously.
No fucking way.
Yep,
Oh
100
my
million. I
god.
feel like you're about to give this like less a star now.
I feel like it now. There's nothing in that movie that felt like 100 million. Holy shit.
Hold on, hold
Did
on.
fucking, did
No, they
fucking Adam
invented Hitler
Driver make
studies.
did Adam Driver make 80 for it? Did he pay Greta 80 for doing this? Holy shit. Andre 3000 is in it. Did he need 500? Like, I don't holy fuck. Wow. No. Okay, a million. I don't know. How much did it fucking make?
80,000.
Yeah, holy shit.
Thousand.
That's I can't believe this movie was made for 100 million. That's wild. That's wild to me. Wild.
Listen, the book is very expensive, okay? They had to buy a lot of copies.
I just I don't understand where they spent that 100 million. That's insane to me. Insane.
I mean, maybe some of it just went to the budget for Barbie.
Yeah, fuck. Honestly, okay, maybe just siphon some of it. Yeah, good husband. Good husband. Okay.
All right. White Noise is a no. That's a Netflix
Yeah,
out of 10.
I'm dropping it to 1.5 out of 5.
Speaking of halves, Fast X. Yeah.
Fun. This is all you.
Jesus. Oh my god. I was okay. So, do you care about spoilers? I'm not asking you. I'm asking people in the audience. Why?
Nobody cares
Why
about
do
fucking
you?
spoilers for
Why
this.
do you?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so here's the thing. The whole idea is that Jason Momoa, he's family of a villain that they faced off in one of the earlier movies. And of course, the favorite one, not just the fan favorite, the overall favorite Fast and Furious movie by every standard is Fast 5. I think 6 is better, but that's a different conversation. 5 is definitely the favorite, and what they do is that the villain of 5, well, he has a son, and that son is Jason Momoa. And Jason Momoa, he's family, and he's gonna get revenge on the family, and family, and family, and family, and God, Vin Diesel is so up his own ass that I'm pretty sure if he put his head up there, it would just be the word family echoed over and over and over again. Anyways, I joked. By the way, I'm glad I didn't spend any money on this. I'm glad I didn't show up in the theaters for this. My senses were right on this one. Just it felt good to be right. But also, it I was there. I was sitting on the couch and I told my wife, okay, sorry, I should probably explain what the beginning of the movie was. The beginning of the movie was basically clips from Fast Five that they were showing. And oh my god, like Justin Lin understood this series. There was good energy to it. All the action was shot clearly enough that you could follow what's going on. And like I was joking with my wife. I was like, what if this ends up being the best part of the movie? Just scenes from a movie that already exists, and that they like would put Jason Momoa in there to be like, he was there the entire time. And then it just ended up being true. I don't remember anything that happens in this movie. Let's see. There is a sister to a character that died in Fast 8 that was introduced. What else? There is a minor character from Fast 5 that shows up again just to get blown up. Gal Gadot is back, and so is The Rock. But to be fair, I knew about that even without watching this movie. So like, I don't even want to give credit to the movie for making me remember that. Um, it has a fucking egregious part one ending where Dom and his son are at the bottom of the Hoover Dam and it's about to get blown up. Like it's just like what fucking stupid way are you gonna write yourself out of this? It's so weird because at least I can rely on these movies to be stupid. Like but just kind of energetically stupid and then just kind of lumbering and like haha, it's so funny you're doing that. This movie was lifeless. It was boring. I don't understand what happened here. I have to blame the director, Louis Leterrier or something like that. I don't know, guy who directed The Incredible Hulk. That's the biggest movie he's directed that people would recognize him for. I don't understand. I honestly think that Vin Diesel fired probably Justin Lin, which Justin Lin did leave the project. He still has a credit for like writing it, but I'm pretty sure that he got fired, and just because Vin Diesel didn't want anyone questioning him or making choices or anything. And it fucking shows because Vin Diesel is still the same fucking problem that he's had this entire time since Paul Walker has been dead. And the problem is that he is taking these fucking movies like if they were his Godfather trilogy. And I need him to fucking stop, wake up, and realize you are making a movie where your Dodge Charger falls out of the air to fall on two big ass army Hummers, and your little Dodge ass Charger breaks them like if your car weighs 10 billion tons. Get the fuck over yourself. Stop it. Just finally get Paul Walker's brother to reprise the role of Brian O'Connor and just fucking have fun again. Because Jesus Christ, just stop doing this. He's just making it so serious. The funny thing is like it is Fast is like at least since like the fifth one and on, it's all about the group dynamic. But the problem is now that they split up, they split up half of the fucking group, the entire fucking movie to go do just complete bullshit that is pointless. It does nothing. All it is just comedic relief. But the problem is that they've been making the same jokes for the last 10 years and they're not funny anymore. So like at least if it wasn't funny, you would still at least have the charm of the actors being like, oh yeah, we're happy. I can't tell if any of these actors are happy anymore. I think they're all here because Tyrese knows that he still has child support to pay. I don't understand. Just I'm so glad this movie bombed. I'm so glad this movie bombed because if fucking Vin Diesel was trying to subject everyone to a fucking trilogy of these, I would not finish it. I would not finish it. They have me for one fucking more. I am done with the next one, and I fucking assure you they're not getting a goddamn dollar out of me for that one. I will do the same thing I did for this one, which is wait until my friend lets me borrow it, because I am just, He has been the problem for 3 fucking movies at this point, and there's no one that's going to be able to tell him no. At least this time, since it seems like this movie bombed and probably isn't going to make its money back, finally someone will probably pull him on his leash and tell him, no, you don't get to do this. I don't fucking care if you're a producer credit. You lost us money, so now we're going to come in and try to fix things.
All I have to say about all of this is that GIF of that African American gentleman who's trying to hold back laughing, and his lips are like just really just
Oh,
like
yeah, that
like
one.
just
Yes.
moving around fast because he can't
Yes.
stop laughing because he knows he's about to.
Stifled
That's
laughter.
me during this whole segment. So that's all I have to say.
Well, dude, I knew that you'd be happy about this one. And I can tell you right now, the few times that I would look up to pay attention, I would just like, oh my god, this movie's still fucking going. Another thing, this is something that I'm just like, Vin Diesel is so trying to fucking kill this series, whether he knows it or not. It's that John Cena was introduced as his brother in the last one. That's fine, whatever. You gotta have the bullshit where Vin Diesel, through his charisma with quotation marks, makes everyone want to be family. And so John Cena shows up in this movie again, and he feels so much like, how do I say this? Did you know that Fast and Furious has a children's show on Netflix?
Did not know.
Okay, well, anyways, it feels very much like John Cena is here to remind children that there's a Fast and Furious TV show, because he gets paired up with Dom's son basically the entire movie, and he's very energetic and he's having fun. And honestly, that was fun. Like, he actually had energy in this movie. He seemed like he had fun on screen, and I like that. And then they give him the stupidest fucking death I've seen in a series that killed a character twice just to bring him back twice. Okay? That's the kind of shit that we're dealing in this series, and I still think this one was the stupidest one. So, Dom, right? Dom needs to go and catch up to his son that's been kidnapped. And John Cena, he's driving a car. By the way, keep in mind that like 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, Vin Diesel drove his car out of a plane to hit 2 fucking armored vehicles underneath his car and destroys both of those cars, and his car is completely fine. But John Cena's car has a torn gas valve and he's slowly losing fuel. I need you to understand the gravity of this. A fucking car fell out of a plane onto 2 armored vehicles and drove off like nothing. But apparently John Cena has a bad gas valve on his car. I'm telling you right now, these movies, none of these fucking cars have had problems in like 6 fucking movies. And one of them went into space, okay? But no, the gas valve is bad on the car. And by the way, none of the people seem like they're chasing John Cena at all. But I am so fucking convinced that Vin Diesel was like, ooh, John Cena looks a little too charismatic. He looks like he's having too much fun. This is my godfather. We can't have you here. So what does John Cena's character do? Oh man, I gotta buy you time. So this man rocket launches his car towards the other cars and kills himself. By the way, nothing would have fucking changed. Nothing would have fucking changed if he hadn't done that. Honestly, maybe Vin Diesel wouldn't be at the fucking bottom of the fucking Hoover Dam if John Cena hadn't done that. But no, John Cena, you gotta leave the series, man. I'm sorry, you're having too much fun. You gotta get the fuck out of here. My score is John Cena to get hit by, no, not John Cena, sorry. My score is that Vin Diesel should get hit by an 18-wheeler out of 10.
Oh, I agree with that score. That's mine too.
Yeah, no, just it is shocking. This is Fast and Furious' spiral. This is where it's like yeah, you're done. You're done.
Perfect. All right, moving on. I'm just gonna bundle these 3 together quickly because they're all rewatches. So I'm rewatch block time. Last of Us TV series. Gonna start with that. I'm rewatching the 4K Steelbook I got, that lovely UK one. Great show. Still really enjoying it. I'm on episode 5 now, so we'll get back to that soon. Only point I wanted to make is, good lord, it is fucking fantastic on a 4K disc visually.
Yeah.
We had to watch it in Crave in Canada, which is just, imagine the worst fucking picture quality you can imagine. That's fucking Crave. It's
Americans.
like probably
just
Hulu,
think of Hulu
for you guys,
or HBO Go.
Yeah, it's fucking awful. So this was just such a nice upgrade. It looks beautiful. Enjoying that. Scream 6 rewatched because I bought the 4K Steelbook for that. Really like it still. One of my favorite horror movies of the year. I thought it was just a blast. It's crazy how awesome that Scream franchise continues to be. Talked about it on an episode who fucking knows when, but yeah, really enjoyed it. Still a great movie. And then finally, I'm sure you'll have some more to say about this too, but then Oppenheimer was a rewatch for both of us. Uh, this was my third time seeing it. I still would like to squeeze into theaters and see it one more time, so we'll see if we can make that work next week or not. But yeah, fucking, I love it still. I think it's incredible. It cemented itself in third for me in terms of Nolan's filmography. And yeah, I just think it's a wonderful film.
All right, I will jump off here with Oppenheimer as well. This was my third rewatch. I'm probably not going to talk about the movie itself because, like, I love the movie. It's fucking great. Thankfully, I haven't even found any flaws yet. Instead, I will just be talking about me going to go watch the movie. So this is my third rewatch. The first watch was Dolby theaters. The second one was just a standard theater, which was fucking insulting because it felt like the speakers were like imagine if like they just had a whole bunch of iPhones lined up on the walls. That's what the sound was like in that theater. This time I convinced my cousin, well, two of my cousins and one of their friends to go to San Antonio so we could watch the 70 millimeter IMAX for Oppenheimer. And mm, it wasn't worth it, but that's just more of because man, I was tired. That was an entire day affair. I really like this movie. I feel like it would have been worth it for a first watch. Any subsequent rewatches, I am glad I did watch it though, because there's just something about being able to watch it on film, just that little extra film grain. I love the little scratches that you get on the actual film itself. It kind of just gives it some of that extra grit. I don't understand how to describe it, but I love it. The other thing I do want to mention though is that I was actually pretty shocked that the audio was as good as it was. Uh, from a point of view, I could see someone arguing that the audio for the 70 millimeter IMAX is the best way to watch it because honestly, it's probably the clearest I've heard the dialogue across all three of the showings. The problem is that I would still prefer Dolby audio to this because even though if the dialogue feels like it's mixed a little bit worse in the Dolby one, I felt the Dolby audio way harder. Well, not even way harder. I felt it harder than I did in IMAX. But the IMAX audio, you can tell that that was the priority with the way that they were mixing it because you still got a whole bunch of the loud impact, but you also could still hear what they were saying. Did I really glean any new info from it on this rewatch? No, just more of an extra confirmation. Yeah, I really like this movie. Um, I don't really think I have anything else on Oppenheimer, so I do. Should I just run through some of the rewatches I have on here too?
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
All right, so John Wick Chapter 4, got to rewatch it in the theater room. Yeah, no, John Wick 4 kicks a lot of ass. I think this time I felt the runtime just a little bit more than I did in theaters, but I almost feel like it's a combination of I've seen it before and that we've had Oppenheimer and Mission Impossible. I feel like there's maybe another notable 3-hour movie that I'm missing, but I'll just say with those that just watching those two movies, those are also 3 hours, and it feels like those outpace John Wick just a little more. I mean, at least Oppenheimer a little more, but like fucking Mission Impossible is like a breakneck pace. So like it's just almost fair to compare anything to that. But yeah, no, John Wick Chapter 4 is still like a fucking benchmark in action cinema and just a wonderful, wonderful movie that I I'm happy. I'm happy that we're here. Would I like more? Yes, but I don't need Chad Stahelski and Keanu Reeves. I just need another director that's hungry as well as an actor who's willing to put in the work. I just need the influence of John Wick, not just John Wick himself. So, yeah, John Wick Chapter 4 still fucking great out of 10.
Yeah, great fucking movie. I agree. I'd love to rewatch that. And before you move on, I just want to quickly mention one thing I forgot to mention during the Oppenheimer section segment that I wanted to mention, and
Uh,
that is I'm happy to officially report DB gave it the heart. Let's go.
Yes, good, good. Okay, I'm happy. I didn't really have any doubt or anything like that, but it's always good to see. Unrelated. This is the watch that I did in 70 millimeter IMAX. I knew I wasn't going to convince two of my cousins and their friend to stay for the credits, but I felt really dirty leaving during the credits as that song is playing. Like I
So good.
fucking love the score for this movie. I fucking love it. At like
It's
it is absolutely one of my like okay, I say this, but if you ask me to name them, it might get knocked out. I doubt it, but it is absolutely a top 5 score for me. Just
yeah,
of all
yeah.
time.
No one. I definitely think no one has found his guy.
Yeah. Which look, Hans Zimmer, we're never gonna knock the man down because like he
Oh, he's
gave me
great.
Interception and Interstellar. But you know, sometimes you're getting Hans Zimmer, sometimes you're getting the intern formerly known as Hans Zimmer.
True. Yeah.
Uh, but like, you know, just Ludwig Gorson? I'm not going to look up his name. I'm so sorry, but you made something beautiful and just you know it's funny because this time I started picking up on the music more that like it's telling the story of the movie. Like you start hearing at the very beginning like these very orchestral, you hear this very strong brass. Like it feels like the music itself is telling the story of quantum mechanics where it's like it starts as this magical science that people were like, oh my god, we're breaking down the universe and trying to figure out how this works. And then progressively, the music tends to turn a little bit more horror-ish as it starts getting closer to the bomb. And it's just, it's one of those little things that, like, whenever you can tell the story through the music, oh, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. So, yeah, no, I just want to give extra praise to that score because it's not one that's gonna leave my life anytime soon.
Great
All right. I I don't know. Do
rewatches.
I yeah, no, I know. It's just like I guess
Oh, okay.
Lost. I'll throw in here because like
Yeah,
is
those are
it a
rewatches.
rewatch? Yeah, and then like Guardians is a rewatch technically, at least for two of them. So I'll just knock those out too. Lost season 4 and 5, at least 4. I think 4 might have been the best season so far. It was what, 12
I
or
agree.
13 episodes. It was the first season after the writer's strike. It felt like they had way more control on set of just being like, no. We know what we want our show to be. I honestly, it probably is a shortened episode because of the writer's strike, where they were probably not given as much time to do a full season run. But honestly, that works out for the best because this feels like the tightest season of the show. It feels like there's it does maybe not time wasted because I don't think the show has really ever wasted time. I know I'm thinking of the Nikki and Paolo episodes from season 3. Are those waste of time for the audience? Yes, but also, you know, they made those episodes to show ABC, hey, listen, please let us have an end date or else we're going to have to make shit up like this. So, you know, it was useful from a certain point of view. But season 4 feels like in an alternate universe where from the very beginning of this show, they didn't have to hit 24 or 25 episodes per season, we could have had just a stronger show that matches way more season 4 than anything else in the show does, which is funny because like I also think season 4 is the moment where the show is always about the question against science versus faith. And I think season 4 is the one that like yells the absolute loudest what the answer between those two questions are, which kind of makes it funny thinking about how people are mad about the ending of the series. But look, I'll talk about that when we get there. I'm still convinced that there are some people who are angry about the ending that didn't actually even understand the ending. That were just like, oh, so you're telling me that it meant this? And it's like, you see, this is the great thing about streaming because if they're saying something that's really dense, you can just skip back 10 seconds to listen to it again. You can't do that on live TV unless you had TiVo, which, to be fair, if you've heard of TiVo, you're old, go get your colonoscopy check. So, season 5, though. Season 5, I could see why maybe people don't like it. because it is absolutely going insane with the concept that it's presenting. And I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love it. I just unabashedly love it. I don't feel like it doesn't feel like to me they need to explain much, because I am between the question of science and faith. I'm going to leave it there. I'm very happy of where the show is landing, because I don't feel like I have to stop and question everything, because faith. I'm already saying too much by just mentioning that, but the faith part is what I actually love about it. And then in that same vein, I am loving just how overtly religious this show is. It feels so different, because it feels like being so overt, it still hides it. It feels like it's so punching you in the face with it, yet it still feels like it could sneak by. Like it's not. It's so weird. It's in your face, but it's not overbearing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, no, I'm just still really enjoying this show, and yeah, I might need Blu-ray copies of this. By the way, I'm just throwing this in here, but like I didn't write it down. I watched 3 episodes of the Boondocks with my cousins after we came back from San Antonio. It's hot. My car's AC doesn't work that well, so I hung out with them for a little bit before the sun went down just a little more, so my car didn't try to kill me. God, Boondocks is still written so fucking well. I bought all 3 seasons on DVD earlier today for $15, so yeah, I'm probably gonna rewatch that soon too. But yeah, no, Lost, still enjoying that. Uh, Anything you want to say before I go to Guardians?
No, you're good. We've talked about it a lot. Good show.
All right, so Guardians. Now my ranking is the classic ranking that a lot of things have, which is 2, 1, 3. I am shocked that I like 2 way more than 1 now, and I think what it is that if you look at the MCU, the movies that kept getting stolen from were Avengers, Guardians, and then that's pretty much it. Dorian, can you think of like another one from the MCU that kept getting cribbed from, or like would you say that it's mainly those two?
No, I think it's just those two for the most part. I mean, maybe you can consider fucking Thor Ragnarok when what's his name doing his own thing,
No,
but that
I
that would
would
be
say
it.
Thor Ragnarok cribbed from Guardians too.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, because like it's funny because like uh I forgot, it was an article that I read so long ago, but Avengers was pretty much ripped off from like even Guardians technically, not really, but technically rips from Avengers, because the whole idea that Avengers had was every other movie, you just Avengers it. You take your character, you build a group around them. You just Avengers it. So Guardians, well, I mean, it's built in there. It's a team already, so you don't need to Avengers them. But Thor Ragnarok, you're Avenging that, because it's Thor, it's Hulk, it's Loki, it's Valkyrie. You Avengers it. The Winter Soldier, Captain America, Black Widow, Bucky. Well, I mean, Bucky's on the other side, but it still feels like it's this small group that you just keep tight. Oh, Nick Fury. I almost said guy in Secret Invasion. Jesus, that's how much is leaving my fucking brain. Um, so yeah, Guardians 1. I'm so glad though that James Gunn still has so much style that even though no matter how much they cribbed from the first one, it still feels like it's worth watching compared to everything else. I think what made me really like 2 is that it doesn't feel like Guardians 2 has been stolen from at all. So instead of me wanting, oh, just give me more Guardians, I just kind of was like, just give me something. Let's see where we're going with. And Guardians 2 feels way more free to do what it wants than 1. It's weird because like Guardians 2 originally annoyed me with like its comedic drops where it's like, oh, we're going to have a serious moment and then we're going to undercut it. But what I kind of found on this rewatch is that a lot of times whenever the humor cut in, there are some moments that were a little egregious where I was just like, oh no, 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 keep giving me more. I found like no, a lot of times whenever the joke cut in, I think the presence of a joke annoyed me instead of it bothering me that, oh no, you cut it off too early. So I think what I also liked is that Guardians 1 is kind of like, it's a superhero movie. You watch it, it's got a whole bunch of action scenes, you're never really too bored, the pacing keeps going, you beat the villain, you get to the end, hooray, wee. Guardians 2, the fact that it opens up with an action scene, it has another action scene in space shortly after. There's Rocket basically tearing up a whole bunch of dudes. And after that, it's just such a long stretch of no action and it's just straight up character building. It's something that I didn't realize with like rewatching Guardians 1 that like I like these characters. I like them. And rewatching Guardians 2 and just like kind of coming to the realization that now this might not be true for everyone, but like me watching Guardians 2 then to now, I have matured a lot when it comes to movies. I don't really need my all in one movie because that's what Marvel movies tend to try to be. They tend to try to be your all in one movie. You got a little bit of action, you got a little bit of comedy, you got a little bit of emotion. $10, thank you. See you for the next one. And there was something about Guardians 2 not feeling like it needed to be all of that. Sure, it has all of those pieces, but it doesn't feel like it lacks confidence in letting some of those moments play out longer. And I really dug like the most of that character stuff in this movie. And I was shocked because like I don't know. I think I was just looking for more Guardians 1. And once I decided to meet the second movie on its terms, I just liked it way more. And then once I accepted that, Kurt Russell's villain is fucking awesome. Like I love how much of a sleazeball he is. Like he is a terrible fucking he is actually probably like on a emotional level maybe one of the most fucking evil villains in the MCU. Then again, MCU villain problem, but whatever. We're going to ignore that. I think that for a series like MCU is all about daddy issues. This is probably the best daddy issues in like all the MCU. And again, low bar. I mean, maybe Thanos is probably the only one that can beat him. But yeah, no, I mean, Guardians 2 was a lot better than I thought. And actually, it might be one that I may want to rewatch again at some point. Moving on to Guardians 3, I'm just going to wrap this one up really quickly. Guardians 3 really got fucked over by Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, whichever one it was that Gamora dies. But this movie felt very much it doesn't feel like it was supposed to be an ending, which that's fine, whatever. I'm happy it ended. We just don't need to run this to the ground before like we run out of ideas and it's like, oh well, here's Thor Love and Thunder Guardians edition, like just whatever. Guardians are in Thor Ragnarok. Shut up, I don't fucking care. It because like the movie is so focused on Rocket's backstory, and then Gamora is basically reset. So it feels like most of the Guardians, yeah, they're together, but I don't feel like I get as much interplay of all of them together as I did in the first and the second movie. So Guardians 3 almost feels now I'm stealing this from Red Letter Media because they kind of nailed it perfectly. They said it feels like an episode of Guardians, and that's true because it sort of feels like there isn't it doesn't feel like we're watching something that is going to change these characters forever until literally at the end of the movie when it's like, oh yeah, we're ending a trilogy. And then that's when it actually feels like things are happening that, like this is the end. So yeah, no. Guardians 3, it's still a good movie. It still works. The villain just being an irredeemable asshole is just something that I'll always appreciate. I don't need you to make it anything complex. Just make it someone that is easy to hate and we're good to go. So, yeah, no. Guardians 3, still good. It's still, like, it's not even just, like, bare minimum MCU shit. Like, I mean, like, no, that's a good movie. Yeah. So, yeah, again, 2, 1, 3.
I'm not going to rewatch these movies, so I can't tell you if I'd have a different opinion on them. I will say this: I'm colder on 3 after I've seen it. I still think it's good. I don't think it's a bad movie by any means, but I have zero interest in rewatching that. I think the MCU just in general, I just don't. I can't fucking care anymore. My ranking though is 1, 3, 2. I don't like 2, but maybe it would change if I rewatched it. I'll never rewatch it though. Not
Yeah,
going to happen.
I think you might end up lining up more with me if you ever do rewatch it. I will just say I don't think you'll have as much okay, you might walk in with the same fear, but I think your fears will be quelled very quickly if you were to ever rewatch the first one, because it's one of those things that, like, no, James Gunn still has a touch to him. So, like, it's one of those things. If you ever try again, I think you will be pleasantly surprised to see that you aren't sick of it as much as you think you are, because James Gunn beats the allegations.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, I got 9 things left still, so I got to speed run some of this shit.
Go for
Um,
it.
there's a couple of them though I really kind of want to talk about more. So let's just get those out of the way. Then I can kind
Yeah,
of
no,
shit
no,
on the ones you know what I mean that I don't care about as much.
yeah, no.
So let's talk about
At this
Amadeus.
point, because of our 2 hour runtime, it's better if we just front load the stuff that's important, and then
Yeah, I
anything
agree.
afterwards, who cares?
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so Amadeus, directed by Milos Forman, obviously the great One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Man on the Moon. He's done a lot of good shit. Starring F. Murray Abraham in a role that he won an Oscar for. Tom Hulce as, of course, the titular Amadeus. This is a fascinating movie. So this was
Wait,
movie number
hold
15.
up. Back up off of the microphone. I feel like it's coming in like kind of like it's peaking a little.
Oh, sorry. How do I sound now?
A little more.
Okay. Hello.
There we go. Oh, perfect, perfect.
Okay, good. All right, so Amadeus. This was my 1500th movie. I decided to log on Letterbox, so this was the titular movie picked for me. And you know, it's interesting, Ed. I have you ever watched a movie and you like the movie? It's a great movie. You understand all the praise for it. You think it's fantastic, but you still walk away disappointed. Does that happen to you? Because that's me with this movie. It's great. I fucking love it. It's well done. It's well acted. It deserved all the Oscars it got. F. Murray Abraham is great, but I had so much hype for this movie, and I'm such a fiend for classical music, and I love the unreliable protagonist. Like, I make a joke in my Letterbox review about that genre. Like, I love when there's an unreliable protagonist. It's like the Texas genre. I like the unreliable protagonists. But so I think that hype was just like, oh, this is gonna be one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's not. It's very good. It's a great movie, but it just like I was like, oh, I was hoping I'd like it even more. Yeah, like weird, right?
No, no, I know what you mean. Like, it's one of those things that, like, on paper, it has everything that you love, and then you watch it
Yeah,
and you're like, "Damn it, something is missing. I was the perfect mark for this," and it didn't completely miss the mark, but it's like it didn't hit me as hard as it
yeah.
should have.
Yeah, and it's still very good. I don't want anyone to think I'm discouraging this. It's still an 8 out of 10, a 4 out of 5, which for me means it's a great movie. I would rewatch. I like this movie. I'd own it. All that shit. So it's still a classic movie. It just didn't hit quite as hard as I would want it to. Holy shit, it's a fun movie. It's 3 hours long. I watched the director's cut version of this. So 3 hours long. We got another 3 hour bad boy here. F. Murray Abraham is incredible in this movie. Definitely deserved his Oscar nomination and win. And this really is his story. I know the movie's called Amadeus, which is kind of, again, a joke of this entire movie, but the movie is about Salieri and his rivalry with Amadeus and just kind of the rumors that he poisoned him. And it plays it all out in such an entertaining fashion. Is half of this shit true? I highly doubt it, but that doesn't make a difference. It's just so entertaining. It's so fun to watch. Tom Hulce is just perfect as Amadeus. He plays him as such a dork and such an unlikable jackass, which is perfect because that's how he should look coming from Salieri as the unreliable protagonist. Like he makes him look bad, right? Because that's how he felt about him, and it's just brilliantly done. And it's so smart, but he just makes him look like a complete doofus that basically stumbles into all of his success when, you know, we know that's not true. Mozart's one of the most incredible and famous composers of all time. So it's fucking funny. It's well done. It's well made. And, you know, sleeping on it, I watched this last night. I actually like it even more. Like I am more positive on it than I was originally. But yeah, it's a great movie and definitely worth watching.
Okay, so I've been scrolling through my list, and I feel like I'm sometimes a mark for parent shit and space. And I finally landed on something that fits that criteria: Gravity. I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
I should have been an easy mark for
Yeah.
Gravity.
Yeah, well, especially that director too. I love Curiano as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that movie did nothing for me too. I'm with you there.
Yeah, so I think that's maybe the closest analog I've got. Yeah, no, no, I Amadeus, I will absolutely get to it at some point. I am a slut for music. That feels like another one that,
Oh,
like, if
the score is incredible too. Let me just point that out. It's all Mozart, so of course it is.
So yeah, no. Amadeus will be watched at some point. Honestly, because I've told you about Cinefix before, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so one of their top 10 lists are fucking great. It's not just Watch Mojo like garbage, like just watch this and whatever. I love their top 10 list because their top 10 lists are pretty much like reliable. I need recommendations, tell me what's good. And they had like a trio of top 10 lists that I fucking love. It was like music parts in a movie or like diegetic moments of music in a movie, and one of the moments that they included was Amadeus, and I think I know the scene because of this. When they're composing at the end and Mozart, it's Mozart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but whenever Mozart's already deaf, they mentioned that scene as a moment, and when I saw that shit, I was like, "That's fucking awesome! I want to watch that." So, yeah, no. Amadeus will be watched at some point out of 10.
Yeah, great movie. You'll definitely enjoy when you get to it. I feel rock solid 8 out of 10 for me. Still great movie. Still liked it a lot.
All right, am I going next, or did you want to knock anything else out?
I've still got more, so let me bang out a couple more here quick that I really
Go for it.
wanted to talk about. Let's talk about Dragon Quest 11. Actually, Echoes of an Elusive Age. So I'm gonna put this in air quotes, so everyone imagine your air quotes. But I have finished it. I am done. Here's the thing with this game. So this game's comprised of 3 acts. Act when I finished Act 2, rolled credits on that, and when you do roll credits, it's about 52 hours into the game. You get a good ending, you feel satisfied by that. It's not like other games where, like Automata, for instance, you roll ending A. I would not feel with Automata that I was comfortable with the ending of ending A. Like, I definitely feel like I would want to play more. And unfortunately with Dragon Quest 11, I wouldn't say I was done with it at that point, but I was like, no, I could stop here and be content. But everyone was like, no, there's an act 3, so I continued to play on. And that's when, like, I didn't like the story decisions they were starting to make. I definitely had issues there. I'm a one of my biggest pet peeves is when they do the whole trope of somebody dying and they bring them back to life. I fucking hate that trope so goddamn much. And Japan is so fucking guilty for that all the time. And they do that in Act 3 right at the start of it. So I'm like, oh, you're already fucking losing me there. And then, you kind of can go to the final boss right away, but he kicks your ass. It's like, okay, that's fair. So you grind, you do some other stuff. I grinded a lot. I did all the side content. I go back to the final boss. Not even fucking close, man. I'm getting wiped by him so fucking hard. So I'm like, okay, let me look up some guides. I look up guides. These guys are like, yeah, you got to grind for these like rare weapon drop rates and get all these items, which I didn't have, to like increase your chance of getting them. And then you got to get these. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm fucking done. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing any of that. So I was just disappointed, and I still like the game overall, especially those first 2 acts, but I had to call it there for my own sanity. I watched the ending on YouTube, and honestly, I just wish I stopped at Act 2.
All right, I kind of wish you were more negative out of 10.
That's fair enough. I just tried turning down my gain a little bit. You can cut this out, but yeah, like I'm pretty far away from my mic right now, so I don't know what's going on. But I tried turning down my gain, so hopefully that helps with the peaking.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next
One
one.
more. Sorry, let me
Oh,
do one more quick. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more because this is like the last thing I semi give a shit about to talk about,
okay.
and then I can kind of bowl through everything else after. But I just
Okay.
wanted to talk about Conker's Bad Fur Day because this is in fact one of my favorite video games of all time from a nostalgia standpoint. Replayed this for the wonderful Backlog Brainrod and their Collectathon Club. Great podcast. Check it out. Much better than anything either of us do, I think, in general.
Okay, hold on. An hour to kill is good.
No.
It is
Anyways,
better. It is better still
okay,
than an hour to kill, but like
low bar.
yeah,
That's like saying like, hey, this movie's better than fucking. What was I going to say?
nut
One Tree
crushing.
Hill. Tree of Life is what I was going to say. But One Tree
I
Hill,
mean,
is that a
either
movie?
one would be true in your statement. One Tree
What's One
Hill is
Tree?
a CW show.
Right, that's what that was. God, that was a piece of shit. Why did I just randomly remember that? Okay.
Hold on.
Anyways,
I'm gonna pause you right there, just because it's relevant, but not really. My wife is watching the OC, and like,
oh God.
like, I haven't been paying attention to a single fucking thing. All I know is that Charles Widmore from Lost, the same actor as in OC. So, like,
Yeah.
my wife has just been like, "Oh yeah, so Charles Widmore has an illegitimate child." Yeah, no, Charles Widmore has cancer now, and I'm just like, bro, Charles Widmore had a hard life. No wonder he wants the island.
Oh my god, you know, OC was trash, man. It wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't terrible, but yeah, it's trash. It's like Nip Tuck to me.
The
It's
funny
one of
thing
those
is
shows.
my wife is just watching this because she wants to understand the "ooh, what you say" in
Oh
context.
god, yeah, worth it because that meme's great. Okay. Anyways, back to Conker, which probably they parodied this somewhere in there too. But yeah, Conker's Bad Fur Day. This is a 2001 platform game on Nintendo 64. One of the last games published by Nintendo actually for the Nintendo 64. Of course, starring the titular Conker made by Rare. This game is just so fascinating in so many different ways. Like, I just love the story about this game. How, originally it was this very cute platformer called Conker's Tales or whatever, and then Banjo Kazooie is being made by a different team at Rare and absolutely like destroys this game. Like, it's so much better in every way. Rare plays this game and they're like, yeah, this game sucks compared to Banjo. Like, we're not going to release it like this. Like, you guys got to do something. So they're like, okay, how about we just completely turn this game into like a totally rated M adult only game and with a bunch of movie parodies. And they're like, cool, yeah, let's do that. And so it became a thing. And it was very shocking at the time. Nintendo was oddly on board with it. They were cool with everything. They're like, yeah, just take out the Pokemon reference and you're good. That was literally their only note. Just don't make fun of Pokemon, and then everything else is fine. But yeah, this game's famous. It has like so many different movie references in it. Like, there's so, like, speaking of Stanley Kubrick, there's a fucking Eyes Wide Shut reference in here. I mean, nothing is off limits in this fucking game. It literally just rips from everything, and I just find that hilarious. It's obviously got some of that early platformer jank. It doesn't play super great, but I just put a blindfold on for all that shit, and I can enjoy these types of games. It's super unique. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's the Great Mighty Pooh, and yeah, I think we're gonna do a special episode on over there, so I'll get to blather about it more and give it all the love there. But this is definitely one of my favorite nostalgia games from childhood, and I highly recommend checking it out if you're into that sort of thing.
All right. Conker's Bad Fur Day is one that I feel like I am interested enough to totally lie to myself about playing it.
That sounds
Look,
about
look,
right.
I'm very honest about just knowing like
No, for
there's
sure.
there's never going to be enough time for me to connect my Xbox to play it. And just like
Yeah, no, for sure, 100%. But I will say, if you ever get to the point where you're just like, yeah, this is never going to happen, go on YouTube and just pull up like a reel of like all the movie parodies in it, because it's hilarious and shocking how many they managed to squeeze into this game. As a fellow movie lover, I think you'll quite enjoy that, appreciate that
I
aspect of it.
I will say this that I will appreciate the Matrix reference just making Conqueror look like a school shooter.
Yeah, the Matrix
So
shit is
like
so good.
accidentally becoming even more offensive. Wonderful.
Like, the game just completely goes off the rails in like the near the end, but it turns into Saving Private Ryan and then jumps right to the Matrix. It's like, what the fuck am I even doing? But yeah, so one of my favorites, definitely a classic. Check it out. That's all I have to say. 9 out of 10 for me.
All right. I have to connect an Xbox to play it out of 10. So, ignoring that because you killed my transition, I was gonna say,
Yeah, sorry.
speaking about Square Enix,
Oh God.
Final Fantasy 16. Hey, that's a good game. When I stop paying attention for a good majority of it and just go sword slash slash wee, I got the power of the phoenix. I'm a gigantic bastard. I'm gonna fucking punch you. We're in space. Yeah, no, this game only annoys me the more I think about it. The more I'm just like, man, I just kind of, God, I should have given up on the story so much earlier. But also, like, I'm not joking. That one fight with B in space. There we go. We're gonna keep it vague. That fight is so fucking good that I swear to God, if I had dropped a save that was right before that, I probably would just keep this game just so I could actually hold on. Wait a minute. Now that I say this out loud, I actually have a couple of saves that are before that. I might pop in this game and reinstall it and see if I can get that save back just so I can get myself right up to that point and then just upload that to PlayStation Plus. God damn it, I'm glad I talked it out because if not, I wouldn't have remembered that. But yeah, this game was fun And I can we get a Final Fantasy 16 2? Look, I'm ready to meet you on the terms that I need. You make a sequel, I'm just gonna skip through everything. I'm gonna be so much more positive on you.
Yeah, I like this game like quite a lot. So,
By the way, so
um,
all of it leading up to this, you were very excited to go into spoilers, so I don't know if you want to do that still.
no, no, I'm done talking about this game. So, no. And to be fair, I've already seen your. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but what I wanted to ask you, you've talked about, so I'm good.
Well, now hold on. Okay, three.
Oh,
Hold on. I
fuck
should
me.
probably. Okay, you fucking love this game. You ride or die for this game. You're willing to give it roadhead at for this game. Um, cool. We're good. Me, look,
You
yeah,
hate it.
you play it. You're gonna enjoy it. Your mileage may vary on the story. Just be ready to accept that nothing's gonna change your mind depending on how you feel about the story. If you like it at the beginning, congrats, you're gonna like it at the end. Do you hate it at the beginning? Congrats, you're gonna fucking hate it by the end. Three, two, one. Bahamut fight alone makes me so happy I fucking played this. That alone. Who fucking boy, I'd keep this game if I just had a save to go back and play the Bahamut fight again. I'd bump up my sound system all the way to fucking 80. I don't think my sound system can even hit 80. I think it's like 79.5, the highest that I can go because I have fucking 11 speakers connected to it. I would play that shit again like once a week. All right, fucking incredible. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
But what?
No. Whatever you were going to ask that you
Oh,
said that I was already gonna answer.
I just wanted to know if you thought Clive was dead.
Oh.
Yeah, that was it.
He's Clive dead. I don't know. Wasn't there one? No, wasn't Sid just walking around with Stonehand?
Yeah, I mean that's the question is how fast. Like I mean, here's the thing: by the time that book is written, he's dead. Like that is so many fucking. You could tell that's like way in the future. Like the icons are thought to be like a fairy tale. So by that point of when whoever wrote that book, he's definitely dead by that because I feel
So
that's so fucking far in the future that it doesn't matter.
it's a
My
Final
thought
Fantasy
is
VII ending.
yeah, exactly. My thought is that he probably dies on that beach, but or shortly after. No, maybe not on the beach itself, but I don't think he does live very long after that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of one of those whole. It's the whole Inception. Fucking, does the top keep spinning or not? It doesn't matter. Like it really does not matter at the end of the day because Dom's accepting his reality. Why am I spoiling Inception right now? Fuck me. I don't know. I'm tired.
What? Okay, if you haven't seen Inception, fuck you. Go watch it. Ooh, the
Fuck me.
spoiler, whatever. We didn't spoil all the cool action scenes in the movie.
But yeah, no, it doesn't matter. But I was just curious. That was all. But yeah, we're good.
I don't know, man. Like I could swear that there were characters that had like stone hands, and it's like like maybe don't use some more magic. You already lost your hand. You'll probably lose more shit after that. I don't know. Like there's probably gonna be DLC. There's probably gonna. I mean, hopefully, if Square Enix is disappointed in the sales for this, they'll greenlight 16.2 and then just keep going it, so they don't have to create a new engine. So
Sounds like Square Enix.
you know the funny thing is that if they make a 16.2, goddamn well I'm gonna be like, this is so much better because I know I'm gonna walk in just knowing what I have to do now.
Blocked and deleted.
But yeah, no, just straight up Bahamut alone. I know that it's the one thing that I keep saying, but that's because I really want to focus on the positives because I could just go on endlessly complaining about everything else, about how the game has a 0 pacing and then it just has a 7 and then an 8 and a 9 and a 10 and 11 and 12 and it's like, oh, you are really dialing this shit up now. So yeah, but no, I just want to focus on Bahamut and God, what a fucking incredible fight. I lost my goddamn mind when we went to space. That is so fucking insane. You got these gigantic monsters fighting in space. You got this big ass dragon that's about to destroy the fucking planet. Why not? It's awesome.
Yeah, it was peak. Absolutely peak. I fucking love that fight so much.
All right. So you kill things out of 10. I don't know. You go ahead for yours.
Yeah, I got like, fuck so much left still. Oh my god. All right.
Wait,
Quickly,
no, no, no.
coffee
I was
talk.
saying your score.
Oh, score 10 out of 10.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try this one. I'm throwing this in here really quickly. Final Fantasy
Sure.
Type Zero HD. It's a PSP game. It's still a PSP game. I lost my window of when I would have enjoyed this game, which is on the PSP when there was an English patch for it. Yeah, no, no, no. This is not the game for me. I'm gonna sell this. No, just no, 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 no.
Goodbye, Final Fantasy Type Zero. I have nothing to say about you.
Good, good. I will throw this in here as well just to get it out of the way. Wolfenstein, The Old Blood. I played you for a little bit. This is hitting right, but I'm sorry you got upstaged by the PSVR 2. I swear to God, I'm going to get back to you. You're fun.
Yeah, I gotta play that. Poot sent it to me. Shut up, Poot. I played the first one, not the old blood, but whatever the fucking
New,
what the
new
fuck is
order.
it? New Order. Thank you. Great games. So I can't wait to play old blood at some point. I will do it.
All right, start running through because I have like 3 things left.
All right, I got 6. Cool. Coffee Talk. This is a game where you play as a barista in a futuristic world where all species and stuff are living together. It was fun. Parrot gifted this to me. Shout out, Parrot. Thank you so much. I needed something chill to come off of goddamn Dragon Quest 11 and that disappointment at the end. I enjoyed this. It was a good time. It's a 3 out of 5 for me.
All right, you got 6, man, so keep going.
Oh, you don't have a score for Coffee Talk?
I don't. Oh, coffee. You're right. Oh man, coffee talk. I like iced coffee. My score is I like iced coffee out of 10.
That's way too high. You wouldn't enjoy this game. All right, moving on. Kung Fu Panda. Hiya! Kung Fu
What the
Panda. We got
what?
Jack Black being a
Oh, the
panda.
movie.
Yeah,
I
the
thought it was. I
movie.
thought you were talking about the fucking game. I was like, why did you
No, no,
play Kung Fu Panda the game?
no, the movie, the movie. This was a fun time. I mean, I'm surprised that people rate this so highly. I didn't think it was that good, but it was fun, and I had a decent time with it. I'm also just not a giant Jack Black fan, so I feel that may be part of it. But definitely worth watching and a delightful movie.
All right, remember that the DreamWorks curve is a thing where, like, if they make something that's good, it's like, oh shit, that was great.
Yes, true.
All right.
True.
I have
I
beef with Kung Fu Panda just because I refuse to believe
go.
something called Kung Fu Panda can be good out of 10.
There. The platform. The only reason I watched this movie was because it got like not recommended, but it popped up on like a thing when I was scrolling through stuff on TikTok, and it's like you should watch this horror movie, and there was like something interesting in that scene, so I was like, fuck it, I'll add it to my watch list, and then it came up while I was randomly looking through stuff on Netflix to watch. I mean, it was fine, it was solid. The ending was kind of a little bit dumb, but it was an interesting allegory about how people classism and how that shit works. Basically, it's this giant prison with like 100 different floors. You start with food on the top and then it goes all the way to the bottom, and whoever has leftovers can eat, and when you get to the bottom levels, obviously you're starving and dying. It was an interesting idea. Bashed you over the head a little bit too much, and the ending sucked. 3 out of 5.
You said so much, I don't remember what the topic was.
I'll do one more here then. Let's talk about Mommy. This is a Canadian film from a director that's a douchebag. The
No.
movie itself is pretty good, though. I definitely enjoyed it. It's definitely got some flair to it. The movie pissed me off because the aspect ratio was 1-to-1, and that really annoyed me. But spoilers, it kind of made sense, so I won't spoil it. But yeah, there's a reason for it. Anyways, movie itself, solid. I enjoyed it. It's an interesting look at, mental health and stuff like that. I don't think it was amazing, though. I think it's a little bit overrated, but it's a good time. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Mommy, I'd never heard of you. Probably will forget about you after the recording is done out of 10.
Cool. I got 2 left. You go do one now.
Okay, all right. So, Primer. I watched Primer. I'm not gonna lie. I watched this one.
Movie.
Huh?
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
No, wait, what'd you say?
Oh my! I just said we're so crunched on time, and this is like the most fucking confusing movie in the universe. We do not have enough time for this one.
No, trust me. No. No. Don't worry. I wasn't gonna say much overall because
No,
here's the thing.
Funny. It's just funny because how confusing that fucking movie is. I'm just laughing. It's a great movie
Look,
though. It's good.
I was still really confused. Okay, because here's the thing. I was not helping my situation. Could I have rented Primer? Yes. Was Primer for free on YouTube as well? Yes. Did I watch the free one? Yes. Did it fuck me over because it was auto-generated captions and my deaf ass couldn't really understand most of what they were saying? Yes. So did I somehow make this complicated movie even worse for me? Yes. Did I still enjoy it? Yes. I'm not gonna lie, I just kind of like as soon as it started clicking with me what the entire premise of the movie was, I was like, I don't really understand how it works. That's fine. I'm just along for the ride, and along for the ride I was, and I rather enjoyed it. Do I understand it? Did I see a chart that explains it, or like what the conceit of the movie is? Yes. I think I need to look at it again because I still don't really understand how it works, but it's got something going on and I kind of dig it. That's all I got. Primer, that's a free movie on YouTube. I'm deaf out of 10.
Yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5. That 3 out of 5 was just because I was salty because I was so confused. It's better than that, and I got to rewatch it at some point. It's a good movie.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my next one, and then I can finish up with the last thing. The Dark Crystal. On my letterbox, I rated this. I mean, the review that I gave it is better than the sum of its parts. The movie. I think that on paper, the Dark Crystal is just a kind of a generic hero's journey. But the thing is that in execution, it is so much artistry put on display. All the puppets, all the set design, just the way that the movie is shot itself, the use of matte paintings. Just this is a visual effects feast. It is just insane that they were able to do. Like, I mean, of course, you could probably only do this in the 80s because at some point there would have been some sort of CG that was thrown in. I love at some point that you can tell that the puppets were sopped out with probably children or small women to do some of the actions that were maybe a little bit too complicated for a puppet. So you can see that their actions a little smoother. At some point, I could see some of the wires in it. It is a movie that feels like it is so complicated to make that whenever you see cracks in it, it doesn't feel like it breaks your immersion. It feels like those cracks are impressive because you don't notice them everywhere. The Dark Crystal is a wonderful movie that honestly feels like it was robbed from being able to become a big IP. And even with, like, I like the movie, I like it, I don't really love it. So there are some people who probably watch the Netflix series and feel like they were absolutely stabbed in the gut because of it. I understand, even as someone who liked the movie, just liked it, I can feel why all of you feel like you're pissed and feel like you were robbed, because the Dark Crystal feels like it deserves so much more. That's my score.
Have you seen this movie? Watch it at some point.
All right. I only have one thing left, so go for it.
I got two, so I'll do one right now. About Time. This was a wonderfully suggested movie from me from good old Mac in our Mac and Clown and Moose collection of
Hong
fucking
Kong
suggestions for
Exchange.
each other. Yeah, Hong Kong Exchange. Thank you. Great movie. Definitely great. It's insulting to call this movie a romantic comedy because it's so much better and clever than that, but it is kind of a romantic comedy in ways. It's just really well made, really well shot. It's basically about a guy who finds out he can time travel one day, and that's just a secret for males in his generation, and he uses it to fall in love. Very sweet. It's like a warm hug. This is something you could watch whenever you're in a bad mood, and it would cheer you up. Great movie.
All right. The fact that it being a rom com and it's something that you liked, it lets me know, okay, if it even broke through for you, I may have to put it on my list. So About Time, highest pro, it has the highest chances of everything that we've talked today of me actually watching it out of 10.
Yeah, I actually think you would genuinely enjoy it. It's a good movie. It's a eight out of 10 for me. I really liked it.
All right. What's your last thing? Because mine is like the PSVR 2 block, so I don't know.
Mine's Blue Valentine, and I got a meme I want to do. So, and I don't need much time for it, so you can do yours.
Okay, so PSVR 2. I got a PSVR 2 for $250. I bought it off of a cop, so it felt really weird that both of the people part of this deal were packing heat, but that's okay, whatever. We got the deal, we got the headset, great deal. So I played Tetris Effect in it. Tetris Effect, it's awesome. It was a great way to see, okay, yeah, this is so much better than the PSVR 1. The funny thing is that I have two games for the PSVR 2. One is Tetris Effect, the other one is Gran Turismo 7. So neither of them are using the little cool controllers that come with it. And the problem is that my cheap ass does not let me buy any digital game that is over $20. So all the games that are actually VR that I'm interested in are more than $20. So I'm not buying you because I don't actually own you. I am paying you just so I don't have to hack my console and pirate it, okay? That's the way I look at digital games. Anyways, Tetris Effect, good. GT7, I was playing it in VR. It is sick. I'm playing it on my DualSense Edge. I'm using the little paddles on the back to shift gears. And I was like, man, yeah, these pedals feel good, but I kind of wish I had a full setup. So what did I do? I started shopping for a setup. And once again, me and my deals. I was able to buy a wheel and some pedals for $100. I want you to understand right now. The headset I got for $250. The headset is $550 retail. I bought the wheel and pedals for $100. The wheel and pedals are $300 retail. So I am already doing really fucking good. I have lower expectations, probably because of the money that I've spent, and I've been having fun playing just GT7. I think I'm going to probably rebuy Resident Evil 8 so I can play it in VR, and I think my opinion on the game is going to increase tenfold if I do that. And then I'm waiting for the Resident Evil 4 VR mode for that. What else? Synapse is a game that I'm looking at that I really want to pick up, but also $35. Can't really do that. Synapse looks like a really cool game. You can shoot people in one hand, and you can use psychic powers on the other to grab people and throw them, and that looks fucking sick. By the way, that clacking, it's because I'm holding the controllers, and it makes me kind of happy. Like, these are actually really comfy. So yeah, the GT7 with the wheel and pedals, it is fucking awesome. I bought a shifter. It showed up today. Tomorrow the stand shows up, and I can't wait to play it with a full setup VR headset. It is actually very cool that my real life driving skills are translating over to cars that are a little slower. But as soon as I try to drive a Supra, that, like, I've never driven a sports car in my life, I did not know what the fuck I was doing, and that is awesome. And it's clicking that part of my brain that likes the competition. So yeah, PSVR 2 for a 250. That thing is great. I'm having fun for 550 out of 10.
Xbox wishes out of 10.
Goddamn right. Where's HoloLens? Xbox, go home.
No, that sounds super fun, man. I want to play more Gran Turismo every time you talk about it. I had a good time playing that game. I got like 20 hours of it. I had my fill. I had fun, but I might go back to it at some point. It's a great game.
Dude, literally just go back. If you watch the Gran Turismo trailer that's on there, they give you a free GTR.
Ooh, okay. We're cooking. Might do that.
Yeah, all right. So that's all I got. I'm not going to talk more. Go for it.
Cool. So Blue Valentine.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah.
I've come to talk with you again.
Another one of just telling you it'll be sad.
Yep, that's
You like
really all I have to say. Honestly, I was pretty emotionally void by the end of this movie. Yeah.
Just that walk away at the end of the movie.
Yeah. No, that was a kick in the balls. I was just like, oh yeah, I don't like how this is feeling. Oh boy, you're gonna chase after him, eh? Okay. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. Let me just shoot myself in the head with a shotgun. That would be great.
Yeah, no. This movie will want to make you Cobain. So I remember watching this 2010, 2011, and I think I last watched it, I think when the show was already going, but don't quote me on that. It was definitely within like the last 5 years though. So I watched it definitely early on. Well, no, I didn't watch it with my girlfriend, now wife. I didn't watch that. But still, it gave me that feeling of the last time I watched it, I'm just looking at her and going, love is dead, isn't it? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, it's the type of movie where if you're not currently in well, I mean, maybe even if you are in a relationship that's not super strong, you're just gonna watch this movie and you're like, maybe we should just call quits right now.
No. The problem is you can be in a strong relationship and still look at it like, if they couldn't make it work, man.
Yeah, it's very hard to watch. Shout out Ryan Gosling, man. You all the memes about the guy, but he's a great fucking actor, and just very good here.
Yeah, no. Ryan Gosling really is just the man who's capturing the entire male experience.
It really is, man. It's so good. And, I'm glad he was Knuff and got to really, to drive that home in the Barbie movie. But, yeah, this is just a step above that in terms of heartbreak for my old boy, Ryan Gosling. This one's hard to watch. Great movie. Fuck if I'll ever watch it again, though. That's for sure. But definitely worth a watch once if you want your heart broken.
I want you to add a list on Letterboxd of it's sad I like.
Yeah, it's sad I like, or like once and never again. We could make a good top 20 off of that. Yeah, we could make a good top 20 off of that for sure. But it's sad. Yeah, it's sad I like for sure. I wonder if I put Waves in there.
You would. I said I like.
Wave is a little bit more uplifting at the end though.
But also, but the thing is that the movie breaks you, so it can rebuild you. You still got broken,
which is what makes Waves so good. Fuck, I gotta watch Waves again soon. That's a great movie.
We need the 4K.
Yeah, give me a fucking 4K of that.
Has Discovery said about 4K?
What's that?
Has Disc Father said anything about a 4K for that one, or am I imagining
No,
that?
no. I mean, it's A24 owned, so they would have to do something in their shop. And I mean, they did do a little exclusive thing for Krisha, which is which is another one of Trey Edward Schultz movies. So maybe one day, but
We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. So
I hope
yeah,
so.
I really can't wait for my wheel stand to get here tomorrow. I'm going to be playing GT properly, and I'll report back on for that the next episode.
Yeah, I'm just going to be playing more visual novel shit. So look forward to
I'm
that.
disgusted. No, I'm looking forward to you watching different movies. I don't want to hear about that. All right.
We're going to watch Pi tonight, so they look forward to Pi.
All right, I may watch The Tree of Life tomorrow. I don't know. Like that feels like a movie that if I pause, it probably won't hurt my soul because it's so like no structure anyway. So
It hurt my fucking soul.
Okay, all right, we're good. We're good. End card.
Hey, look at you. You got to the end of the episode. From episode 0 to the day that I finally get lazy and cancel the show, a big thank you to Joey Rawlings for providing the perfect name for the show. Be sure to always give him thanks, either out loud as you're listening to this, or you can just send him a thank you tweet at boogeyman117_. That's boogeyman117, IE instead of Y, double O. Be sure that it's an underscore, not a dash, 117.